It's your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. It's been a minute since we checked out some Krishna. Now, I know he dropped some other stuff, but personally, I haven't been able to find English subtitles. So if you guys have them, please let me know down below in the comments. DM me on social media, Instagram, Twitter. All my links are down there, and we will dive into them as soon as possible because I did look for them, but I didn't see anything. This one I saw just dropped a few days ago, and one of the first things that popped up was the English translation. So I figure we'll dive into this. It's Krishna featuring Seedhe Maut and Seedhe Maut. I probably said that name wrong. I apologize, but the song title is sensitive. So let's dive in. Don't be sensitive about how I said those names, and let's find out what they was doing with this one. Oh, by the way, shout out to DHH English for putting this together because I've been having a hard time finding these lately. I know I used to go to the homie Savage Guy. I don't know if he's still been on it. I know that he combined with somebody else and they made a channel and they were going to do the translations, but I forget what that channel name was, unless this is it. And so, but shout out to him because I assume he's still cooking, doing his thing. Regardless, he helped me out a lot in the past with these translation videos. So much love to Savage Guy.
शाबाश तो मैं से नाराज है अब भी क्या मजाक वक्त पे नहीं चलता किसका भी प्रभाव है देसियों पे आने ना दे कोई दबाव देसियों
Right off the bat, knowledge. I like this. My man said, time listens to no one's influence. That's like the realest shit ever. Time don't give a damn about anything that we got going on. They don't care who's the most popular celebrity, who's accomplished this, who's that, because time is going to continue to move. And in a million years, all this shit that we think is so important is not going to be anymore. Like, if humans are even still here, we're going to be so far back in history that no one's going to talk about any of the shit that we're doing right now. No one's going to talk about the fact that John Jones might be one of the best UFC fighters ever, one of the best MMA fighters ever. No one's going to talk about the fact that people are claiming that he's ducking Tom Aspinall. No one's going to care about who was the top rapper at this time. No one's going to care who won awards the other night at the BET Awards. Like, no one's going to care about any of this. And I'm not saying that, like, because some people might take that as like, well, what's the point in me doing anything then? But I think that more so the mentality should be, don't worry about failure. Don't worry about being embarrassed. Don't worry about these small moments of, oh my God, what are people going to think? Because in the long run, even within your lifetime, 99% of the shit that you do that you think is embarrassing, people aren't going to remember. They don't care. Even if you're a celebrity and you do some shit that goes viral and it's embarrassing, the shit's going to die out within a couple of years because other shit's going to happen, right? Like, so I just think that that's a good mentality to have, that things keep moving. Like, what's happening is really not of that much importance. And I think that we get dragged down by this thought process of how you're being perceived. What is my reputation? What do people think of me? Do I feel embarrassed? And I'm guilty of this too, but in all reality, it really doesn't matter. Like, we're so minuscule on the scale of not only time, but space when you think of the universe, and right. And so, like, I use this to try to get myself more motivated and to care less and to overcome my fears, because my fears are insignificant on the grand scale of whatever this whole big thing is that's going on in this thing that we call the universe. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, just, you know, maybe that gave somebody some extra motivation to just do some shit, but if not, go do it. Just do it. Don't think twice about it. Okay, I like this. Don't throw mud at your own people. You know, he says, foreigners were already bitter toward us, sir. These white folks turned racist and mocked us. But then he goes on to say, here, the brown fight amongst themselves. No one sees a cure in unity. Basically, like, you know, where I'm at, like, there aren't even the white people to really hate on us. I could be wrong about his thought process, and the translation may not be perfect, but he's basically saying, like, you know, like, we're all brown here, but yet we fight amongst ourselves. It's almost like, you know what I mean? Like, none of us seem to see a cure in unity, right? And those that do aren't able to get the rest to agree with that, to actually make that unification move. So instead, we continue to fight amongst ourselves. And he says, I sell unity among my own people. Like, I'm trying to push this narrative. And I fully agree with that, because I feel like it's the same kind of issue when it comes to the black community in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we started to correct a lot of the wrongs within our community and we really came together as a people instead of constantly fighting each other, because like stats say, and I hate it because, you know, people that are racist like to use these stats to try to put us down. But the truth is, black on black crime is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, we need, like, let's lock in. Let's fix these issues that we have internally. And that way nobody can look at us goofy from the outside. Like, I always look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's obviously things that can change externally that could be helpful, but there's a lot of things internally that can also change that make those external changes that much easier or make them inevitable, so to speak. You know what I mean? Yo, they got Krishna in the suit. He dressed up. Yo, they all just dressed up like they're a band. That's hilarious. These outfits are crazy too. That's hilarious. It's real shit though. Stop being sensitive.
मसाला का बहुत hot for you नेटे बने लौड़े बहुत cool कुछ लौड़े लगे बहुत कांड बोल सकता हूँ अगर बुरा लगा jokes on you कुछ लोगों पे टाइम फालतू भरते को चले बहुत crime news से हटो कभी don't tag through बोलो लेकिन सोचो पहले दो बात क्यों वो बोले you don't pass the line पर चोरे clash पे जाए but that's the point बोले कभी that's my time मैं जी में आ रहा जो मैं करूँ अभी वही चीज़ rhyme कोई ऐसी जगह जहाँ पे पूछो नहीं कि सही थी line और I don't give a f करे हमें कौन define it.
I like that he said, here I come rapping what I feel in real time. Should I ask in some special place whether that line was okay? Basically, like, and I could be wrong about this, but I assume because a lot of other countries, and I assume over there as well, is very strong with their religion. And so I don't know if that's what he's saying. Like, I'm going to rap what I feel in real time. I'm saying what I feel now. I'm going to be open about that. And then he said, should I ask in a special place whether that line was okay? And I don't know if that's him saying, like, should I ask somewhere where I can speak to my God? You know what I mean? To make sure that it was okay that I said that, or I don't know. It gets tricky because I don't want to like make people think that I'm saying anything about religions or I'm bringing religion into the discussion. But that's the mentality that I got from that line, because they say don't cross the line, but they keep pulling the rope. Bro, that's the whole point. They never say that's my time. Here I come rapping what I feel in real time. Should I ask in some special place whether that line was okay? It could be that, or it could just be him being like, should I go to the government and make sure it's okay that I say this? I don't know exactly, but it seems like it comes from a place of, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to disrespect a culture, a religion, a government, or whatever. Like, but I'm speaking what I feel. You know what I'm saying? And if what I feel seems to be offensive to you, now I'm going a little bit further with this thought process, but normally my thought process would be, if what I feel seems offensive to you, but I know what I'm saying is not offensive and it's just what I'm feeling, then I feel like we need to have a discussion about that because there's something else that's a problem.
दूर से देखा तो तीन शेर नजर आए दूर से देखा तो तीन शेर नजर आए भाई उनकी गाड़ी फट गई पास ही नहीं आए चलो guys, that's my time. Thank you so much. Being so sensitive, okay. Stop being so sensitive, okay. Stop being so sensitive, okay.
Professor Krishna. Yo, I like that. Amazing what times we live in. Streets are full of poverty, but people just want drama. And that's so true. But I feel like I feel like there's a connection there, though. I feel like a lot of the poverty is what kind of leads to the drama. I don't necessarily know that people want the drama, but I think that poverty puts you in a different space mentally, and it inevitably leads to there being potential drama. Facts. Woo. Look how they vomit hate in comments, then want to debate morals. That is literally Twitter in a nutshell. I don't know if this, he might be on Twitter, because that's what, that feels like Twitter. That's the craziest shit ever. Then it says they fornicate on a regular day, then follow it up with faith. And it's like, Yeah, it's not the greatest. Yeah.
Fornicate, then follow up with faith. Okay, बनाओ थोड़ा sense बहस करके गवारों से गवाओ ना तुम चैन जो तुम्हारे मुंह पे डाले ताले वो तुम्हें दबाना चाह रहे असली मुंह तो पे ना रहे खाली कमेंट डाले जब बना रहे कोई ट्रेंड सुन ना के आजा खबर आई ताजा.
Yo, can someone tell me what this is about specifically? I feel like something may have occurred, or there may be something that he's speaking on, like more, like, I guess specifically. Yeah, I was trying to think of another word. 'Cause I'm like, I just used specifically, but. Because it just seems like, you know, those who try to lock your mouth are the same ones trying to silence you. They avoid real issues, just throw comments when a trend pops up, which is very true. Again, Twitter. It's crazy. So I'm thinking like either he got some backlash for something or Seedhe Maut did, or they're just watching the landscape of shit take place and they wanted to speak on it. Yo, okay, yeah, he's definitely speaking about online shit. So he might not be talking about Twitter exactly, but internet in general. What a time to live in. All they want is an excuse to cancel someone or drag them down. Online, it's tit for tat. But meet them in person and they're freshly in suits. And that's the same thing that we be saying over here in America, right? Like, yo, online, everyone's a keyboard warrior. Everyone's got some crazy shit that they want to say, do to you. I'm going to do da-da-da-da. But then I swear, like, you meet that same person in person and all of a sudden it's like, yo, nah, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fan, man, and da-da-da-da. Like, you see it so much with streamers and creators and shit like that. And honestly, sometimes you even see it online. Like, over the years that I've done YouTube, there's been times where I've gotten a comment where someone's like, oh, Duane this or Duane that or da-da-da-da. And then I'll respond to the comment. And all of a sudden they're like, yo, bro, I didn't really mean it like that. Yo, I didn't think I didn't know you were going to respond to me. Bro, I've been watching your videos for a couple years now. And it's like, where did that negative energy go? Like, you was just popping mad shit to me. So you basically were, you're telling me that you did that because you didn't think I'd actually see it. And you thought it would just sit as a comment. But then as soon as I see it and I respond to you, and I'm not even being mean or aggressive, I just respond and I'm like, yo, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, that's crazy. Like, da-da-da-da. I don't know what I did to hurt you. So on and so forth, right? And then all of a sudden it's just like, they're your best friend. You know what's funny is I've seen it for myself, but I've actually seen it a lot happen to a friend of mine named Crypt, who also does music reactions. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know who I'm talking about, but I've seen a lot of times where he's responded to people in the past. This was years ago when everybody was more in like the community aspect, and you would see him respond to shit on Twitter or something, and then their response to him would be like, bro, I'm your biggest fan. And it's like, you were just talking mad shit like you hate him, and now because he responded to you, suddenly you're like his best friend? It's so weird.
Stop being so sensitive, okay?
Yup.
Stop being so sensitive, okay? Stop being so sensitive, okay?
Yo, I might actually clip just a piece of this hook for my live streams, because I go live on Twitch pretty much every day, twitch.tv/DuaneTV. You know, link in the top of the description if anyone's interested. But that would be a great soundboard thing. Like, someone gets mad at some shit, because I be saying some shit sometimes. Or I throw shit, I troll people in chat, I be doing all sorts of stuff. And sometimes people might take it seriously or not understand. And I could just hit the button that's like, stop being so sensitive, okay? Stop being so sensitive, okay? And then just leave it at that. That might be it. I might have to do that.
Stop being so sensitive, okay? Stop being so sensitive, okay? Stop being so sensitive, okay? Samjhe kya okay?
This was a fun little video. I like the song. Ended up being 14 minutes of a react. Holy shit. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff to stop and talk about. See, this is why I like the translations. Like, the music sounds good, but without me knowing what's being said, I just feel like I don't have much to say, because I don't play music instruments. I can't speak on some of the things. I don't make beats. I can't break down the beat making process. I want to talk about the rapping, right? And the lyrics, because that's something that I actually partake in. And obviously, depending on what they're saying in the lyrics, is something that a whole lot of us might be able to relate to, right? And it gives me ideas of things that I can branch off and talk about. And I feel like it just creates a more enjoyable reaction for me. I know some people don't like people that pause and talk a lot, but that's what I do. So if you hear and you don't like that, you in the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? That's the best I got for you. But I do appreciate you guys that do stop in and check out the stuff. It's been a minute since we did some Krishna, so we'll see who still taps in. But if you guys can find some of the other stuff with English translations on YouTube, let me know. I will continue to look every so often, and we will try to get some of those up sooner than later. So I appreciate you guys. Take it easy. Stay safe. I will catch you in the next one, homies.